Good day, everybody. Today I'm going to share with you the latest features we introduced on Inside SAP version 5.3 we have recently released. Okay, so what do we have for today? We'll start with version management. We added the version compare to complete the entire version management feature. Then I'm going to show you things about the pivot tables. And we will end up with standalone toolbar function where we added the whiteboard and import from Excel features. So without further ado, let's switch on to the system. I will use the very same example every time because this is not the point of this demonstration. So we have versions, and I will look at ME2N. Default, and this is the one. If I get in, this is the basic insight. Okay, it is based on ME2N. Let me generate a version out of this one. And let me do some changes. I'm going to take this column vendor and I'm going to split it into the vendor and another column for the text. Okay. I'm copying this column. I will replace the data element. I will remove the old text. Okay, I will delete the old content and I will use the string functionality to turn the left function. Okay, and I'm going to use it over the old value and I'm going to take the left 10 most characters. That's it. If I press on the text button, I'm going to get the description of this column, in this case, the vendor name. I can remove this field from the layout and I'm going to save a default layout. That's it. Let me get out and I'm going to generate another version. And now with the version management, I will be able to compare these two versions. And it says that between the two versions, two columns were added, vendor and text, and a new layout. If I'd like, I can do something like that. I can import things from previous versions. In this case, I'm going to remove the text, okay? So if I will go out, the new version was automatically generated and now I'm double clicking and you can see that the text, the description was removed. The version comparison actually completes the entire version management feature, okay? And along with the import for update ability, now companies can safely work on production or on another system and to import things to production with the ability to go back and forth to any versions they had. Okay, next we are going to talk about pivot tables. Again, I will start from a simple example. ME2N, the same selection display, the same display variant, and we have the data. If I'll check the views, you'll be able to see that we have a new option, pivot table. Okay, and over here I can create a new pivot table. Let me give it a name. So it's just like in Excel or in Google Sheets, we have rows and columns, and the values are where the aggregation is being held, okay? So I will pick for rows, I will take from my report the material group, okay? And the values are going to be the net price. Keep in mind that you can use aggregation at the value level. and we have the values. If I'd like to add another value, I can do that. I can take the very same parameter value, but I'm going to use a different aggregation. This time I'm going to count it. And this makes sense, okay? So this is the amount and this is the number of records. But we had it previously with features like the column, the aggregation column and the aggregation mode. But in this version, we added the abilities to have a real pivot table. So if we'd like to use the document date as the column, we have to some way cluster it. Other than that, we will have an endless list of columns. So let us cluster the document date into year and month. We can do that using, we are going to create a new formula column. Date element is going to be from the world of dates, month and year. Okay. And using the formulas date and time, I'm going to use date get year and month, which get the date, some date as a parameter. Let me look for the document date, and that's it. And now you can see that each date was mapped onto the year and month it belongs to. Now let's copy this pivot table. I will remove this one, and now I'm going to add the newly created field as the column. There you go. Now we have the material group as the rows and the month and year as the columns. If you double click any of the values, the related records are going to be displayed. Give me a second to show you how it looks like. So 11,000. Okay, and you can actually display them all. Let me before we leave this topic, I would like to show you something that not two creators use. I would like to check this one, auto refresh. This feature allows you to set a refresh interval by which Insight is going to refresh itself. Every 1 minute in this example, the entire data is going to refetched and the UI is going to be refreshed, and automatically the UI is going to be refreshed as well. Let me turn off everything but the pivot table. Okay, let me save a layout. Let me go out and get in, and I will show you the result. The result is something we can hang over the corridor. Okay, it will refresh itself every minute, reflecting the exact situation. And in 2 minutes, we did something that will benefit your organization immensely. Just think of the endless possibilities of using this feature and to reflect data to many people. Next, we are going to talk about Toolbar Function. Okay, before I will show the abilities, let me go back to the presentation, and I'd like to talk a bit about what Toolbar Function is. Toolbar Function is something we introduced a few years ago. It enables one to code some call to BAPI or something like that, and it enables users to select a few records and to mass influence SAP object entities. Okay, the thing is that this feature is built in it is loosely coupled, okay, to Insight SAP. Everything is encapsulated using a clean and clear interface, and the process is happened that when the user selects a few records, Insight fed the toolbar function, the button, with the data, and as soon as the functionality is over, the button returns the message list back to Insight and the user can see the result. And using this platform, this framework, we can minimize the amount of code we need to write, okay? It's only the call to the BAPI, because we send the code, the content, and the message list is presented back in Insight, okay? And therefore, we can use it all across Insight. Let me show you how it looks like. I will create toolbar function. Again, the same example. I hope you do not hate me for that. Okay, so now we have a PO and PO item. If I'll double click it, you can see the delivery date of this PO item. And now we created a toolbar function that enables us to change the delivery date of a PO. Okay, we are going to bring the button over here. Let me add it. Function, new. This is its location on the tray. And now I'm going to pick the button I'd like to implement, delivery date. Insight automatically maps the interface of the button of the toolbar function onto the fields from the report, but the date I'm going to use, instead of field variable or system variable, I'm going to use a constant, and I'm going to pick today's date as the default. And actually, I can override my selection using this checkbox. So you can see the newly created button. I will select a few records. I'm going to press the button. Automatically, the date is presented. Let me replace the date. So you'll see that I can actually, and I'm getting the result set. Okay, it says that the first one was changed, and as you can see, the data was changed. Okay, now again, before we will introduce the features, let me just elaborate a bit more about toolbar functions. Over here, you can find the toolbar function you have in the system. And this is the one we were talking about. So as soon as I do that, you can see what is the interface this button, this toolbar function actually exposes. And this is the order, the sequence. Okay, so the first field is the PO header, the PO number, the PO item, and the date. So now let's check what we did just recently. I will create a new insight. Toolbar function whiteboard. Okay, again. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to do that. For the first time, I'm not going to use neither transaction nor snapshot. I'm going to do something new. It's called function. Now I will pick our function, toolbar function, and that's it. Actually, let me get inside. And surprisingly, a new insight was created, a new empty insight was created along with the button update delivery date, and two things we're going to talk about shortly. But now think about this one as a whiteboard or an Excel file that you can actually type in many records. Okay, again, the definition of the columns was defined here, right? The button actually exposes this interface. But let me take this PO. I'm going to key in and row number 20, let's say row number 20. And let me pick a delivery date. And now I can update the delivery date. I do not even need to go back because I can navigate from here as well, and you can see that the date was changed. So this is amazing, because instead of now handling many objects. I can click in, type in, key in sets of data, okay, records of data, select them all, and press the update delivery date. However, we introduced something even better. We introduced the ability to import an Excel file directly here, okay? So you ask me, what is the format? So if you don't know what the format is, the needed format, you can actually download a sample Excel file. So a new Excel file is going to pop up in a second, okay? Okay, with the same format, everything. Purchasing document, item, and new delivery date. Actually, I'm going to copy. I'm going to copy the data from here. Okay. Let me change it. Let me save my work. And I will go back. I'm going to import. And as expected, everything is here. And objects were changed accordingly. So this is for today. Okay, we have more features in this version. I'm not going to dig down deep into things. I just wanted to bless you. Great use of our new software, and have a great day. Thank you very much. Bye bye.